I have a great picture of me and Tom.
So, hello everybody. We're live, and it is Tuesday, and it's the voice of J. Anthony Brown right now. He
He's
is
on time. He's
he's
on
on time,
time.
and he's doing something, as he
I'll
used to
tell you what
say.
I'm doing. Today is Tom Joyner Appreciation Day. They're asking people to post pictures of Tom and themselves. I have a great picture that I'm trying to find right now. Once I find it, you're gonna love it. But we can start the show as we have already started the show.
Well, thanks for your permission, because you know how timely our producer is.
You know it. You
And
know it.
so
Yeah.
we are. So the show is underway. Jay is doing something, and he'll be joining us visually in
Oh,
just a matter of moments.
here it
Um,
is. All right, here it
you
is right
found
here.
it?
I found it. You're gonna love it. Oh my
Okay.
God, this is
All right.
so. This, as you say, this is so cute.
So which way?
Mhm.
Oops. Oops. How about that? Oh, look at
There
us
we
both
go.
getting straight at the same time. How's that, Yolanda?
Yeah. Look at your phone,
Mhm.
Sybil, because that's where I sent it.
Oh, you sent it to. Oh, you sure? Okay. So Yolanda, you want to look at that? You can send it to yourself, or give it to Chica. Jay. So here's what's happening in the news. These things that are
There's so much. There's
going
three
on.
people. I was watching the news last night, and there's three people I would not want to be right now. Rudy Giuliani,
Hmm.
Donald Trump, and Matt Gates. And I don't know which order you would want to put that in, but either one of them um, are.
Well, I didn't have either of them, any of the three on my list for today. So,
But bingo,
um,
no, 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 no. We talk about what you want to talk about,
no, no,
man.
no, no. But I'm curious as to. I know Rudy Giuliani may be in a little bit more trouble, but I had a Giuliani on my list today. But that's to talk about his son running for the governor of New York. Son of Giuliani is going to run against the son of Cuomo, who is the current governor. And of course, Cuomo's in a lot of hot water of late by with the sexual harassment
But
charges.
but you know what? It seems to be if you're a Republican and you don't have a sexual harassment case, it's like, what's up? You need to step it up.
Well, the thing is, that's why this is so unusual, and that's why Democrats have been so reluctant to,
I
to, to,
know.
to say
I
anything,
know.
because Andrew Cuomo is a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. And Giuliani's son, he's just such a tool. I know that word. It's a very old white high school kid word.
Well,
Just such
if
a
anybody
tool.
would know an old high school white word, it would definitely be usable. But we know that.
Okay,
All
okay.
right, you got me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I am what I am.
I am where
Uh,
I am when I can't be no more. Right, right, right.
so, young Andrew Giuliani has thrown his hat into the ring. He's going to run for governor of New York. Supposedly, his opponent, if he makes it through the primary, will be. Although it just seems like such an easy thing for the Republicans to run somebody against him. But however, he is going to get. For whatever it's worth, the endorsement of Donald Trump. Donald
Oh
Trump,
yeah,
who
oh
was
yeah, because he
persona
does.
non grata in the
Yeah.
state of New York, but he's definitely going to get Trump's support.
Mhm.
Not only was his father Trump's attorney, and he's not going to sing, he's not going to turn on Donald Trump, but also Andrew Giuliani worked for Donald Trump over the last 4 years.
I don't know if Giuliani's not going to turn on Trump or not, Sybil. This is a lot. You know, we're switching from the son to the dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot that Giuliani is in trouble with, and at his age, he doesn't want to go to jail. You know, a simple fix would have been for Trump to pardon him.
Right.
Nobody can even think by why, out of all the people you pardon, you know, sheriffs and trainers and rappers and shit like that, how did Giuliani miss the list? You know, but this is what Trump does. So if you're facing a lot of jail time, I don't know, Sybil. This is going to be interesting to watch would he
Well,
turn on Trump?
compared to Matt Gaetz, who asked, people in the Trump administration to put his name on the list for a pardon, I don't think that Giuliani thought that, in his mental state, whatever that is, I don't think he thought that he was first ever going to get caught, or that he had done anything worth getting, worth having to get a pardon for.
I think I totally agree with you. First of all, he thought what he was doing was on the orders of Trump. Therefore, I'm working for the president. Therefore, I'm using a lot of therefores, huh?
And don't forget your heretofore.
But I'm going to use one more.
Okay.
And then I'm not going to use any more. Therefore. And then I'm going to use a Tavis word, but I digress. But anyway, I just think, Giuliani's attitude was, I'm doing this for Trump. I'm not only doing it for Trump, I'm solving problems for the country. What I'm doing is right, and there's no way I'm going to get in trouble. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, when pardons were being passed out, you don't think he thought he had one coming his way, Sybil?
I think if he had, he would have asked for it, or somebody would have asked for it. Even if Donald Trump didn't think that he would need it, I think that somebody would have, if he had said, it's getting a little warm, it's getting a little dicey, it's getting
But you have to, if you don't use these words every now and then, people forget about your ass. And these words are, what about me? You know what
Hey!
Hey! Over here. When he's too busy farting and dripping hair dye and spitting on people to really focus on what he needed, which was to have his ass covered for what he was doing. It was a simple fix to ask this guy. But here's the thing with Giuliani. He was never speaking to Trump when he was doing what he was doing. There was a part when, he kind of got so far out there where Trump just let him go. If he finds anything that I can use, good. If he doesn't, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Which is why he didn't get a pardon.
Because you plead ignorance, and then you say, well, I didn't know anything about it.
And there's no way Trump's going to say what he was doing was for me, because that implies guilt, and Trump's not going to imply guilt ever for anything.
So, Jay, before we get too far into this, we're starting to run out of time.
How many times I heard that, Sybil, and paid your money for it.
I do want to talk about a story that you have called me a couple of times about today. And the district attorney, Womble, in North Carolina, determined that no sheriff's deputies will be charged in the shooting death of Andrew Brown Jr. This, of course, is what happened April 21st in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Andrew Brown Jr., deputies were going to his home to execute a warrant in drug charges, and also a search warrant. He was in his car, and they were coming towards him. And so depending on what you saw in the video, the district attorney said that he moved towards them in an aggressive manner by backing his car out. The family has said in the video, the family and the lawyers have said that it was not his attacking them with the car, that it was the police in the shooting that all of this happened. So, but here we are with the DA saying no charges against these deputies. Now, give us your perspective on this.
Well, first of all, Sybil, when you are, it's weird that Black men have to learn how to react toward the police, but we do. We have to react toward the police a different way than anybody else. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: it doesn't matter what we do. Anything that we do could cause us to get killed. But I know this.
That's true.
I know this for me. If I'm surrounded by police, this is just me. I'm not, making any, disagreement on what he did. I'm not going to put my car and drive and move it. That's just me. When you do that, different things are going to happen. Mm-hmm. We all know that. If you ask any Black man, if you're in that situation, you're surrounded by police, are you going to put your car and drive? The police are not going to think you're trying to get away from them. And if they do, they're going to shoot you. They're
Well,
going to shoot
look at what happened to Dante.
Yeah.
You know,
you might get
he's
shot if you ain't doing shit. So if
yeah.
you move a car, you up the ante. That's just the way it is. I don't know, Sybil. This is a funny one. I mean, funny, not
Yeah, not haha.
Just
Yeah,
to use
sure.
the term funny, but it's a bad situation that we have to act different when the police show up. They came to serve a warrant. A warrant means you're going to go to jail. You can't move your car, and police are not going to take the attitude, we'll get him later. They're
Yeah.
not going to take that attitude.
Well,
That's not how they work that.
Yeah.
Oh, he got away. We'll just get him at the mall. No, they're going to kill you. And if you don't, and if most black men don't understand that, then you're dealing with death on your own. You're going to die. You're putting yourself in a dangerous situation. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was trying to leave. Maybe he was trying to run over the cops. Whatever. When you move that car, the cops take on a different attitude. They're going to kill you.
Yeah.
That's just it. I mean, I don't know. You know.
So let me ask you this before we move on. Do you think that the video is going to provide enough for the family to be able to fight this and to ask for a higher ruling to go to somebody who is not directly involved like this DA is?
Well, here's the thing. The families have always, nowadays, it's kind of helpful that some of these cases are going to a higher court because of, just the times that we're in. Back in the day, it would have been a done deal. He's dead. We move on. You wouldn't even have a press conference or anything. He's dead. Police shot him. They would always use the phrase, a struggle broke out and a black man died.
Yeah.
So, now we're in the mode where a lot of these cases are going to a higher court. What a lot of people would like to have an outside governing party to look at some of these cases. Well, you got to understand, prosecutors don't like to lose cases. The word prosecute means
you're going to get them done.
Yeah, you're going to get.
You're going to get them put in jail.
And you don't like to have the police lose cases, so that's what you're dealing with. And this is a tricky situation, only because, like I said, Sybil, he moved the car.
Yeah,
he moved the car. You can't sit there and go, well, he was trying to get away. That's not a getaway situation. They came to pick you up.
And here's the other thing. It was early in the morning. I don't know what his state of mind was, what his state of being was, and I don't know if any of us from the outside looking in can address that. The point is that now the DA and hopefully has made this decision that they will not charge any of the cops involved. 4 shots fired into his arm, 1 in the back of his head, and no charges. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out in the case, in the shooting.
And that's amazing that only 4 shots hit him, because if you listen to the video, I have not seen the video.
It's 5.
I've heard it, but it seems like there was a lot of shots being fired at him. And like I said, when you are surrounded by cops, for me, that's just me. I'm going to try to apply with what they're going to do, what they ask me to do. I'm not going to put my car and drive and try to flee the situation, because it's going to make it worse.
All of us,
you're going to end up with an outcome like this.
Yeah, all of us, say, and I'm not saying that you wouldn't do that, but I think once we're in that situation, what we will and what we do is different than what we say we would do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's now time for the trending video. It's brought to you by hotterthanamofo.com. As we know, today is Tom Joyner Day, and it's named by our friend Damon Williams.
Damon sent this in?
Damon suggested the idea.
Okay, tell Damon, today's not his day. And when his day is, I don't send things on his day. And I don't appreciate him sending stuff. I'm pretty sure it's good. I'm just saying, I know it's
well,
good.
Let's just say on Instagram and Twitter, he has called for people to send some love to Tom Joyner. And so, Yolanda, do we have things to show? I'm not sure how many we have, but let's.
45 out. Now, are you ready?
I look like Sammy Davis Jr. It's your boy, man, who can take the sunshine.
So, Jay, explain that.
Tom had a bobblehead and I had a bobblehead, and before the show, somehow the engineers always had them setting up backstage, and so I took a picture of it. But I do have the Tom bobblehead. I have the Barack Obama, who looks like, I don't know who made it. It looks like Ray Charles, and I have a Red Fox, and then the one of myself. So yeah, that's pretty. Cool.
I got a Tom, but it was on. It somehow the head got knocked off. It wasn't me. It wasn't in a fit of anger or anything.
I think you knocked it off in a fit of anger. I'm going. Let's see what the survey says.
What else do we have, Yolanda?
It's the All-State Tom Joyner family reunion. We're at the Gaylord Palms Resort, Kissimmee, Florida. And we're from, where you from? Where you from, family? We're gonna kick this thing off with an old school dance contest. We have 10 contestants, and the winner will get to go in this money booth and grab all the money that they can. And you have to pick the winner. Are you ready? This is the Sky Show. Kick it, DJ Cool.
Everybody, if you
that was Family Reunion 2010. Yes. Had you left us by then? Had you abandoned? Had you gone by then? What appropriate thing to ask on Tom Joyner Day. When did you?
Yes. I think you know why I know I was, because I don't remember that one. So I think I was gone by that time. But yeah.
Or you had already moved yourself from the reunions. But that was the old school dance contest. Everybody knows.
We would bring people on stage, and you got maybe 2 or 3 seconds to really do your thing. And if you didn't, we put you off the stage.
And oftentimes Jay would pick people up and carry them away. It used to be, we'll give you a hug and then you're gone. Jay would pick, especially children, just, because I was like, don't put the babies up there to do the booty dance. This is not.
Those Sky shows were fun.
Yeah.
The Sky shows were fun. Even the family reunion was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And that way, they just came down from their rooms and were.
We did. Remember the wheelchair? We did wheelchair.
Oh, the motor scooter.
Yes, we did. Show us your medication. Who had the most medication?
Yeah.
We did, who has the most credit cards? We did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We bring out people who were dressed alike. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of couples would come in their matching outfits.
And we would embarrass them so much, man.
Yeah. Do we have anything else, Yolanda? That's it. Okay, so the pictures and videos of folks sending in showing love to Tom Joyner, and that's us showing love to Tom Joyner, as this is Honor Tom Joyner Day for Damon Williams.
That was great. That's a good idea. He did
it for Sinbad too, and I just want to tell people who called me and text me today. Tom is great.
Yes.
He's doing very well. He's working to get as strong as possible and be ready for November.
Yes. Well, see what happens when you honor people. People always assume that you're not here.
Yeah, just like with Sinbad. The thing with Sinbad happened after he had the stroke, so people thought, "Oh my gosh, Tom," but he's good. He's good.
Fine.
Yeah. Janice Eatman says, "Who had the smallest paycheck stub?"
Who had the what?
Who had the smallest paycheck stub? Hello? Oh, you mean of the people in the room?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, that was one of the contests.
Yeah, that was.
I
And
was
you know
too
what's so
embarrassed
weird?
to show my paycheck
I
stub.
talked
But
to Melvin. I talked to Melvin day before yesterday. A lot of people know Melvin was on the Tom Joyner show, and we were talking about when he came on. He said, "Well, I was never mad at you." I said, "Well, Sybil was mad at me enough for you. You didn't have to be mad at me."
yeah.
But those were good. Those were good times. Those were
Kevin
really
Woodson
good times.
and I started with Tom, and then Jay came and made Tom fire Kevin. And and Kevin played the characters of Mrs. Leonard as well as Melvin.
Melvin,
Melvin,
and I told him, I say my favorite Melvin joke was, we asked Melvin what did he like to do in the summer. He said, sometimes I like to drive with my top down. And everybody said, "Oh, that is cool." And then he said,
"You got a convertible."
Yeah, and sometimes I let the top down on the car too. That was funny.
I always thought, Kevin he liked the anonymity and having these characters in your head as opposed to.
He would not go out and
he wouldn't go out on the road.
He wasn't going to do it. Yeah.
No, but I just think that you guys had really great chemistry on those Fridays when Tom would allow Kevin to come on the air. Yeah. So I just thought that it was a lot of fun.
Tom was notorious for separating me from everybody.
From people, yeah.
He didn't want me to sit next to Yogi.
Right.
He
right.
took Miss Dupree away from me. He would
because with Jay, he loves people so much that they become a distraction, and so then he loses his focus for what Tom was trying to do, and then he's like, "Yogi, you go over there. Jay,
Yogi, go sit over there." I'm like,
yeah.
What did we do?
It's like kids in the classroom.
I know.
Absolutely was.
We had so much fun. We really did.
Those were good times. Those are really good times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For some of us, for all of those 25 years, and for some, not so much.
I did 20.
You just make it sound like you did time.
Yeah, well, we did time.
I did 20.
Well, close to the end, it felt like time. Yes.
Especially at 2:00 in the morning, right?
I know.
All right, so now it's time for the What You Need to Know newsletter. Once again, that video and the videos, I should say, brought to you by hotterthanamofo.com. Thank you, J. Anthony Brown.
Thank you.
In the What You Need to Know newsletter today, we talked about, and this was a discussion in our production meeting as well. This is not necessarily a political story. It seems more like a social justice story, but it is political because today is election day in a number of states, and especially in Philadelphia, where they are electing a district attorney. And part of this is with this district attorney in Philadelphia is a friend of ours, or is supported by our friend Sean King. And another person is running against him. Larry Kavner is one of those more progressive DAs. This is a DA. He was a prosecutor in the DA's office. He has been disbarred. Only the 4th lawyer in this country to be disbarred in this way because of the evidence that he withheld in a case of 2 black men.
The guys that did 15 years in jail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were in jail for life for the killing of a minister. They did not do it. They maintained their innocence, but this prosecutor was disbarred. He lost his law license because of the way he handled this case. And the district attorney before this last one, before the current one, his name is Craig Watkins, and he investigated and found a lot of the materials that were hidden. There were deals that were made with prisoners saying that they would testify against these guys for their sentences being brought down. And so, do we have the picture of the prosecutor, Yolanda? And this is for my friend Paula Newsome, who today tweeted and said, Sybil, could we see the picture of this guy and what he did? And yes, he is. And this is a case in which he was fired by Craig Watkins, who was a black man, and he was fired by Craig Watkins. He tried to sue and said that it was a racial thing. Craig Watkins sued, and it had nothing to do with race. It was about incompetence. And while he was investigating and presenting his case in this lawsuit, it was shown that, along with the Innocence Project, that this guy had done some really awful things, and especially in the life sentences of these two Black men who had subsequently been exonerated.
I just saw a movie. I just saw a movie like that. It's called, I think, Crown Heights. Have you seen Crown
No, I
Heights?
haven't.
Yeah, Crown Heights, and it stars the young man who starred in Photograph. You know him, the guy. He was in Get Out. He was the guy that just stared.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he stars in that movie, and these guys. He was.
Is that Lakeith Stanfield?
I don't know his name, but I've seen him. I've seen him in a lot of movies. It's a true story. He ended up doing 21 years in jail for something he didn't do because of the same process. Let's get guys who said they saw him do X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
He was never there. You can be convicted. And that one story is just a number of probably a lot of stories that are out there because prosecutors like to get the case, solve the case, put somebody Black in jail. And that's with that power you can do.
And how many people are still in jail?
Or sitting in jail right
now. Same thing. Yeah.
Right now. Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we talked about, we have not talked about one that I'm very excited about in the state of Florida, and that is Congresswoman Val Demings is going to announce her run.
Val Demings.
Right.
You think she can beat Marco Rubio?
I would love to go down there and help her do it. So this is Val Demings, obviously, and that's Marco Rubio. They're going to be running against each other probably in the general election in 2022 for the United States Senate.
Wow.
She represents the area of Orlando. Her husband is the mayor of Orange County, Jerry Demings. And so, and she, was a former police chief and all of that. So she's got a great law and order background, obviously now some time in the House. And I would just oh my God.
Just the debate alone. She would wear his ass out.
And please have plenty of water.
So, when Marco Rubio gets to debating, somehow his mouth gets dry.
Do you remember when he gave the response?
He had to stop what he was doing and drink water. Yes, I love her. I like her a lot.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
But, things have changed a lot. Sybil, Blacks can win statewide elections now. So that's really good. Yeah. That's really, really good.
I'm as excited about her running for the U.S. Senate as I was about Stacey Abrams running for governor and about, of course, our now Vice President Kamala Harris and being picked for the ticket. So I'm all in. I'm all in Congresswoman Demings. I hope you'll come on.
It's never too soon for her to start running, and getting out there and going to these counties and cities and towns and speaking, and and it's just gonna be a cool election, and it's starting now. And here's the other thing that she has a plus: more people are gonna want to talk to her on their news show than Marco Rubio. So she got that for sure. I know I would.
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely. I hope that she will come on and talk to us on all of our platforms, and just I know that Sherry interviewed her over the summer, but she is absolutely
Sherry, I'm so thin, Shepherd.
Don't you love? She's looking good, huh, Jay?
She's looking good. Sherry told me that if I had stepped to her, I could have been getting an alimony check now, but she said you blew your shot.
Hey, you blew it with Sherry Shepherd and Kim.
No, I didn't. I never. No. Never hit on Sherry. Never Sherry. It was Kim. It was Kim, the one.
It was always the closest to white. It was
always Kim. Always
the light-skinned ones, huh?
Well, not all. I don't always go light-skinned now. I've been known to go to the dark side and then come back to light and then go back.
Oh, so you move around. Okay, Blair. Okay, so we have seen the disbarred prosecutor. We talked about Val Demings, and one of the other stories talking about the coronavirus. We give you a coronavirus update every day in the What You Need to Know newsletter. Of course, people are saying, well, at some point the coronavirus is going to go by the wayside. What are you going to do? We're still going to keep you up to date on health and wellness. But in this is great news for families, and especially those who are of a certain income level. And now these tax credits are actually going to be sent to families in the form of checks, not tax credits for,
This is so cool. This is so cool for Biden. I mean, Biden, what I like about Biden is he's holding his head down and staying focused on what it is he has to do while the Republicans are imploding, seriously imploding in terms of who's going to kiss Trump's ass. And here's my thing with them.
How far can they go up there?
They all want to get rid of Trump, Sybil. Every last one of them wish that he was not around, but they're too afraid to say it out loud. If he got hit by a bread truck or some shit, they would be so fucking happy. But that's the problem with the Republicans. You have so many splinter outlets that everybody's trying to gain power without saying, I'm really running or I'm really trying to be in charge. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, they got 75 million reasons not to, thinking that, they can split off all of those votes in their own home turf.
I hope that they do split off. I really do. It would be great for for the Democrats. There was a time when Joe was running that people were upset with Joe and they were talking about doing a third party. But for the Republicans, is unorganized as they are now and as afraid as they are now of Trump, it will be great for Democrats if they did that. You got Marjorie Taylor Greene. You got
and the greats and Gates.
And Gates, you got all of them that are just. It's going to be interesting, really, really interesting.
And it's also going to be interesting what happens with Lynn Cheney, if she is able to really put together a strong group of Republicans. Would that include people like Michael Steele, who has splintered off to the Lincoln Project and things like that? I don't know. But here's the really important thing. For all of these splintered groups, all of these people who have their own agendas and still want to call themselves Republicans or Trumplicans or whatever, the Democrats have got to take advantage of this. Don't sit back and wait.
I said it last week, and we will say it again. If y'all don't get rid of the filibuster and do what it is you want to do, and then put it back before you go out of office, which is what trust me, the Republicans were in power. They'd get rid of the filibuster. They'd pass what they want to pass. You can't trust anything Mitch McConnell says. You just can't. And I don't know what Biden's waiting on. I really don't. I guess he's too busy.
Well, he's got a lot of stuff going on.
Well, the Middle East. But here's the thing about the Middle East. I thought Wonder Boy Kushner was supposed to handle that. Now we're still in the same situation.
Oh, it's worse.
I thought he was going to handle all of that. Anyway.
Well, he did to the Israeli satisfaction, but the Palestinians are saying, no,
and nobody's
allowing
going anywhere. Nobody's going to go anywhere. It's hard.
And this, I tell you, every day.
Let me give you a marriage analogy.
Okay.
It is hard for two people who hate each other to live in one house. It just does not work. It does not work. It doesn't. They're never going to share that land. They're never going to be you, because there's a group of people that says, well, we were here first. We were here first. Why the fuck should we divide now in order to keep peace? So it's just never going to happen. We were here first,
And for all of the Middle East peace accords that have been done in history, I remember back, when Jimmy Carter negotiated the peace accord between, was it Menachem Begin and was the president of Egypt, Sadat.
Anwar Sadat.
Anwar Sadat. Golda Meir, God bless her, always as the president of Israel and I'm sorry, the prime minister. All of these, I remember all of these accords and things over the years, but this now, I don't remember it ever like this. I don't. I'm just talking in terms of just these last few weeks and the bombings and the killings
Yeah,
of
and
people.
it's
Just
hard for the U.S. to take a side where they're going to send money to one side and not expect that side to use that money to bomb the other side. When you have people sitting here going, well, and then saying we're going to bomb you, but we want you guys to live peacefully and split up the country,
yeah,
the
yeah.
land, so that it's not going to work right now.
No, it's not happening.
I don't know what the problem is, but you're
It's
right.
not.
Biden has some serious explaining to do. He got some explaining to do.
He has some splaining. Yeah. So Jay, talking about about this money it's going to families. Getting back to the $600, the $300, the $500, all of this. Those who qualify will receive monthly payments of up to $300 for each child under 6 years of age, up to $250 for each child from 6 to 18. And payments will be sent on the 15th of the month. So that's like, waiting for your Social Security check,
Right.
the 15th of each month, unless that date falls on a holiday or the weekend. And so this is really depending upon, the ceiling.
Personally, I would. Look, I'm no financial guy, but I would prefer that people were given tax cuts as opposed to be sent checks, because it does make some people say, well, why should I go to work when I'm getting unemployment, I'm getting money for daycare. So I mean, and if you drive around town, this is something you can say the Republicans are making a point. You see a lot of we're hiring signs that you
Yeah.
didn't see. And I don't know if it has to do with COVID. I'm just saying I see a lot of places
Well, a lot of
looking
states now,
looking for people to work. Right.
and a lot of states are taking away that bonus $300 a week in unemployment, even before it comes to an end. And there are other states that are giving people who are going back to work and showing that they are looking for jobs and they have gone back to work. There's talk of a $1,000 bonus for these people in order
Yes.
to get them back to work. But as far as the credits are concerned, that's a very Republican of you. And especially
Well,
in
you know
light
what?
of
I tell you what makes you think sometimes like a Republican, and you think like a Republican sometimes. When you open a business, you seem to take different
as a
attitudes.
businessman, yeah.
You take a businessman approach. For instance, I opened a club in LA, and all these stipulations that I had to go through to open my club. And then meanwhile, I look out the window and there's a guy selling food on the street on a shopping cart with a tub full of sodas and stuff like that, and he don't have to pass shit.
Yeah,
So that
no licensing or anything.
license or
Yeah,
anything, and that as a business person that angers you. But the other problem is, in certain states, the minimum wage is $7. When you're getting $200 and you're getting money for unemployment, why would I go to work for $7? Now I don't know if you know this, but Bank of America just raised its minimum wage to
minimum wage
$25.
$5 starting in 2025,
$25. Check your
an
checks when
hour.
you come out the bank. When you come out of look at your check real good. Okay.
What about the elderly? We need help also. Lily Carter, you're absolutely right. And there's always talk about increasing Social Security and the cost of living increases.
Right.
And it's certainly in the pandemic, there's even greater need, and because of people living, just week to week, month to month. But you're absolutely right, Lily. The elderly do need help too,
They
and this
definitely
is
need help.
about children.
We do. We need help.
Who is the youngest old man I know? All right, J. Anthony Brown. So the question of the day: do you believe in UFOs?
Yes. Yes. I wrote this joke the other day. I said I'd save it for you.
Oh, good.
It's amazing how white people see UFOs, they see Elvis, they see little green men, all types of shit flying around. But you put them in front of a video where a black man is getting dog mess beat out of him, they don't see it.
They see nothing.
They don't see it. They see resisting arrest. It's amazing how open they are to. They're still looking for Bigfoot. You know, there is a show that's been on for almost 5 or 6 years in search of Bigfoot. They haven't found him, but the fucking show is still on. They see ghosts. They see all kind of shit. So now, do I believe it? I don't believe there's anything from any place else that is among us other than ghosts. I don't fuck around with ghosts. Ghosts is some real shit.
Did you see the 60 Minutes piece about UFOs?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable how they, with the Hangar 51 that's supposed to have bodies and stuff like that. I don't buy it, and until they come on America's Got Talent.
Look like Stevie
until
Wonder
they show
right
up on
now,
America's Got Talent. But ghosts?
No,
we don't.
Not gonna mess with those ghosts.
We don't dispute ghosts, Sybil. Ghosts.
Jay, have you come in contact with ghosts?
I've seen some. I don't know what.
Well, let me ask the people to also join in. Do you believe in UFOs? And do you believe in ghosts? Have you seen either? Have you seen an alien? Have you seen an unidentified flying object? Or have you ever come into contact with ghosts?
I seen what looked like. Okay, we're on a road gig with me and another comedian. We're driving, and we're down a country road, and we see from one side of the street to the other side of the street what looked like an upright wolf with a jacket on. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to share with you. You're gonna laugh.
Jay,
I'm not going to share with you if you're going to laugh at me.
Jay, what other kind of herbal inducement was in the car with you?
I wasn't smoking. This is, you know me. If I said I was smoking, I was smoking. I was not smoking. But here's what happened. We're driving. We see what is like an upright 6-foot wolf with a jacket on, cross from the resident part of the street to go into the woods, which when we saw it. And for 20 minutes, nobody said, "Did you see that?" No, I didn't say shit because I didn't want him to think I was the only one who saw it. So he didn't say nothing. So we were driving, and all of a sudden he stopped the car. Did you see that shit go across the street? So I contributed to be a ghost. So I don't dispute ghosts at all.
It was a wolf standing up on his
with a jacket on, with a nicely tailored jacket.
What kind of jacket was it, Jay?
It was like an open. It was fast, so I didn't really get a look at it.
But you're a fashion connoisseur.
Yes,
you're a tailor.
It was like a blazer, like a light.
Did it have pockets or no?
Yes, it had
wide lapels. Were there wide lapels or narrow?
Weird because his arms were swinging, right? It was fur everywhere, and he just walked in front of us, and we just kept driving, and nobody said, "Did you see that? Did you?"
Jay, let me ask you this: was the pattern houndstooth?
It looked to be a light cotton jacket. Now I know my fabrics and I know my style. It had notched lapels, and for those of you who don't know notched lapels, a notched lapel is the lapel that has the point on it. That's a
Mhm.
notch lapel with patch pockets. It has all right, I'm not gonna share. I'm not. I'm not gonna share with you.
Was he perhaps carrying a squirrel as a snack?
He didn't
Um,
look as if he had anything in his hands. Okay, let me
Nothing in
just
the
say,
patch
he
pocket.
looked like he was coming from dinner. He
Going across the road to
yes,
have a smoke.
had he. I looked like he had been invited somewhere,
Uh-huh.
and
Had the nice jacket on.
He was leaving the facilities and going.
The wolf
The wolf.
with the
And this was
jacket.
before I was not smoking that day.
That day.
That day, no, I wasn't. Back in that time, I wasn't smoking a lot. I only started smoking
Every day.
probably about 10, 15 years ago. But no,
Okay.
at that particular time, I wasn't smoking.
Were you drinking?
No, I didn't. I didn't drink
Oh, you
or
don't
smoke.
drink. Yeah,
No,
you're not a
and
drinker.
no,
Yeah, you
no.
like those
You know
little.
I can't drink. No,
Yeah, I
no.
know. Yeah.
If once I one drink and you're my buddy, that's
I know.
that's
That's the only time that I've been Jay's buddy is after
one drink
one
and
white gin.
everybody's my buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love you. So you never had a chance to
Yeah.
say
So
that to the wolf.
do you believe in UFOs? Do you believe in ghosts?
I have seen a UFO.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have. I
What
saw
about a
Santa
ghost? Have you
Claus
seen a
fly
ghost?
across the sky
Uh-huh.
in in his with the reindeer and everything. I saw Santa
You
Claus on Christmas Eve fly across the sky.
can you get any more of that? What you had?
I was 5. I was 5. I'm not sure if it was the Oreo cookie that set my mind ablaze or a fire or whatever but I did see Santa Claus. I saw him coming out of a house on 87th Street, but even before that, I saw Santa Claus and the reindeer flying across
Okay.
our
No, what
street.
about ghosts? Have you seen any ghosts or anything like that?
No, but I have dated enough spooks to know that
Yes,
ghosts do
that they
exist.
exist. Okay,
Yes,
right.
yes,
All right.
yes, yeah. And I did have I had one boyfriend that told me, this whole thing about ghosts and being in his mom's house and things like that. Which was a
Well,
real good way for me not to ever want to go to
not to
his
ever
house.
go over there. I've never
Yeah.
seen anything. Both my parents have deceased, and I have, in the beginning I would constantly speak to my mom,
Mm-hmm.
praying that she don't speak back.
Right.
Don't speak back. I don't
Yeah.
think I could handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
I'm just really curious. This whole thing with UFOs. I mean, as long as we've been alive, we saw the stories in the weekly newspapers and stuff. UFO sighted. John Kennedy flying latest UFO and all that
Well,
kind of stuff.
Paul Mooney did a joke a long time ago. A UFO would land, and they'd bring him into the house.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be on every television show. Negro moves next door, they have a problem. So that's white people.
God bless Paul Mooney. That was a great joke. All right, for our last go round, talking entertainment. Naomi Campbell, the world famous model, has become a mother at the age of 50. A first-time mom
Wow.
at the age of 50. How the question is, how did this child come about? Because during the pandemic, lots of people got pregnant and had babies, and their pregnancies were not able to be under the magnifying glass. But in this case, on Instagram, we saw. Do we have that of Naomi welcoming her little baby to the world?
Oh, I saw that picture. I didn't know that was her. Okay.
Yeah. So, and that looks like a hospital bracelet on Naomi's wrist. So I don't know if that means that she had the baby, and she did or she didn't. Who cares? Just really happy for her. All of her friends says that she's a godmother to many and always wanted a child, and so now she has this little girl apparently, and really, really, really happy for her. And I hope the kid's got a good bob and weave.
Good for her if she wants to be chasing kids at 60. But I mean, I don't want anybody around me under 5 no longer than 30 minutes. I got at this age, you got a 30-minute tolerance of come and get this, come and get him, please come and get him.
Jay, speak about your was it your, I saw a picture of you with, was it with your granddaughters?
Oh yeah, my granddaughter graduated from don't ask me which college, but we were hanging out. We went to this restaurant called STK.
Steak.
A steakhouse in Atlanta. Very fucking expensive, but anyway.
That's a big difference from the old days just going to the lizard.
You know, I tried to get them to go to Golden Corral, but they wasn't having it. So I said, you know, they got all this shit at Golden Corral.
All you can eat.
They got, and it's all you can eat. You can take shit home, but no. Peyton, my granddaughter, and my other granddaughter, Deja. Peyton graduated with a computer degree, and Deja is a nail technician. They both are going to do very well. So we had a good time.
Deja's got nails for they are pretty impressive.
Well, that's what she does. She's a nail technician, right?
And I think she said, you know, her website and all that stuff is coming soon. So good for her. Yeah. So
it's amazing that my kids and my grandkids and, you know, my daughters, that they all have some sort of skill, talent that they can do. And it comes from probably my mom and you know, her mom. My grandmother could sew, and she never had a sewing machine. She did everything by hand. So it was cool, which is probably where I got it from.
No doubt. your tailoring skills known to many.
Yes. My tailoring skills. I know I couldn't make pockets at first.
Well, that was always a favorite story of mine. And as Arsenio will also note, and I'm hoping he'll come on one day with us, talk about the vest.
I made him a vest. Yes, I had a company that I was going to start. Did I ever tell you the name of the company?
What was it?
It was going to be called. We were just going to sell vests. The name of just vests, huh? That's a market untouched right there.
That's straight to the point.
Yeah.
That's straight to the point.
That's all you got. Yeah, that's all you got. We just sell
vests.
Yes. It was going to be called Vested Interest.
Vested interest. I like it.
It never went anywhere. Never.
But so much more of your talents did go.
I'm working on my album. I'm working on my book. My book is called Hats and Church Announcements. I'm gonna have a.
Oh, so can you hear? Okay, I can't hear him either. I don't know what happened to your audio.
And I got my first art show in Columbia, South Carolina on July the 18th. Go to Breakout Comedy. It's a breakout comedy show. You can get those tickets on Eventbrite, and then be sure to go to hotterdanthamofo.com
for all your information. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's a great place for us to land today.
That is a great place for us to land.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay.
On time. I was on time.
You absolutely were. You absolutely were.
Right.
You want to stick around for the Yogi's Jewel?
I think I remember it. What it said? I heard it today.
Yeah, you heard it today. A pure heart and an honest tongue are necessary ingredients to being a good person. That's a lot. A pure heart and an honest tongue, honestly, are necessary ingredients to being a good person. That's Yogi's Jewel for today.
Read it again now. A pure heart. No, I'm not.
Okay. A pure heart and an honest tongue are necessary ingredients to being a good person.
And also a pure tongue and an honest heart can help you be a good person.
Okay, so now next week will be the flip.
We'll flip it. And every time I heard that, Sybil, pay good money for it.
Pay good money for it. All right, my friend. Good luck with all your endeavors there, wherever you are in the world. And thank you, everybody. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's Stephen Hill and Myra J's got a
Myra J has her name on the wall. Did you see that?
That's what I was going to
See
say.
that?
She's got a really nice story to tell us tomorrow.
That is great. Yes.
Yeah.
My name's not up there. What the fuck?
Good night, everybody.
Bye.